Christmas holiday. Glad to have all of you back. I think it's the first time we are meeting this year, apart from those that sent me 3,000 messages asking for rice, asking for dodo, asking for everything. So anyway, glad to have everybody back. I'm glad that we're all here and healthy. Now, in the last couple of days, there's been a few things that have happened. But just yesterday, I think most difficult occurrence, and the difficult one in the sense that we had a kidnapping in Igweben train station. It wasn't just a kidnapping, it was a few armed men shooting sporadically into the air, and they kidnapped 31 people. One person, luckily for us, escaped, and they kidnapped many. The police swung into action immediately with collaboration from the state vigilante network and local hunters. They started combing the bushes and going around the vicinity. The kidnappers, most of them, it came by vehicle, and as they kidnapped the one people, some went by footpath into the bushes and scattered themselves around that area. This morning, the state deputy governor visited the scene of the crime to have an on-the-spot assessment of what had happened. And we are pleased to say that while we were waiting to begin this press conference, we got a report that the suspect has been arrested, one of the suspects arrested. And this is very good news that is helping police and the security agencies with their investigation right now. So I think once again we must congratulate the police for the swiftness with which they attended to this security breach. And also we're pleased to say that our local hunters and the London network, their collaboration also assisted in this operation, and that's why we are recording a very huge success in such a very short time. So we hope this is the last time we'll have such daring people invading government infrastructure, especially train stations across the country, and especially here in Edo State, because our security network is very tight and very swift in their reactions to these sort of incidences. We hope it doesn't happen again, and we condole, of course, with the family of the victims so far. And we will give all necessary support to the necessary security agencies, the police, the army, and our local vigilante network and the hunters who are on the trail of these evildoers. That's on the issue of the kidnapping in Igwebe. I'll just repeat: 31 people were kidnapped. One of those escaped. One of those, so about 32 people were kidnapped. One escaped, so 31 is with kidnappers. Just received a report that one of the suspects have been arrested and is helping police with investigation. So that's on that. And then I think we've covered this severally, but I think we should do it over again. It's important because when it involves our parents, this government takes the issue of our parents very seriously, senior citizens of the state. And I personally was very disappointed when I saw not just news reports, but when I saw videos and saw some of our parents or some senior citizens talking to the pressmen, with the bile in their voices and the way they spoke. And from our investigation, I think we have to come out and let the people know the truth of the matter. First and foremost, those people that spoke to the press on that day of the protest by section of the pensioners, I think we should all let everybody know that they were politically instigated and motivated for a purpose, which was the following day, the APC riot that was coming up. They were instigated by those people who are the cause of the problem of their gratuities not being paid. Edo State government, under the leadership of Governor Baseki, has paid their pensions or paid pensions, all the arrears of pensions, both those inherited and those under the government, have been paid up to date. There's no pensioner today that is being owed pension. On the issue of gratuities, even those who retired after 2016, that is when this government came into operation, their gratuities are being paid and have been paid. The gratuity areas we're having problems with are those that retired under the leadership of Governor Adams Oshomole, whose reckless government is the one that created this problem that we inherited, and we are trying very much as possible to sort out. We have been having engagements with the pensioners on the payment of their gratuities, and just last year, the Edo State government paid out 1 billion naira as gratuities to pensioners. Those people that were on television to say no gratuity has been paid, I think they were being clever by half. That is not true. Gratuities of lots of these people have been paid by the state government. Last year, close to 1 billion naira was paid, and this year we budgeted another 1 billion for the payment of gratuities to our senior citizens. But because they are not working in such a way to have their gratuity paid, look at the timing of their protest. The 2023 budget came into effect on January 1st. We had not even started work when they started complaining about their gratuity not being paid. But we all know that the APC was going to have a rally in Edo State 24 hours after that rally. And we all know, we saw those on television talking about gratuities not being paid since 2011. And I'm glad to say in 2011, their leader, Adams Oshomole, was in government. In 2012, Adams Oshomole was in government. In 2013, Adams Oshomole was in government. In 2014, Adams Oshomole was in government. In 2015, Adams Oshomole was in government. In 2016, Obaseki took over in November 12, 2016. And of all the pensioners you saw there, I'm sure you can confirm this, not one of them retired after 2016 or 2017. All these people, all those people that spoke, were those that retired under the leadership of Adams Oshomole, that he refused bluntly to pay their pensions, but they allowed themselves to be used by Adams Oshomole in an attempt to embarrass this government. But unfortunately, they have failed, because we have gotten validation from many experts across the world of how we have managed to sort out our pensions and even gratuities here in Edo State, even they have developed very lame resources. From our investigations, we also discovered that they are doing this because they don't want the young, also have a young and expand our growing young workforce. We have a process whereby we have to manage the resources we have. We want to have a slim, strong, well-educated young workforce. And the beneficiaries of this system are the younger people of today. We've migrated them into a contributory pension scheme that takes care of their gratuity and pensions when they're about to retire, and they are enjoying it. But these older people who are being used by the person responsible for their gratuity not being paid are crying foul and trying to embarrass the government that has put in place machinery to make sure that all their pensions and their gratuities are paid. The pensions have been taken care of, and they are leaders of this group. Some of them engage with us, and they know the processes we're going through, and they know how we've been paying this. So we just want people to know that they were being clever by half. They were not telling the truth when they said no gratuity has been paid since 2011. That is not true. We have started paying the arrears, and we budgeted another 1 billion for the arrears of gratuities being owed. And I expect the journalists to be able to go out to find out some of these people that have received these gratuities in the last 1 year, at least in 2022. So I can put a line to the information some of these our senior citizens gave out during their protest a few days ago. Those that have received the gratuities, they are humans. They still live. They live amongst us. We know who they are. I'm sure if you go to the Bureau of Pensions, you will see their names of those who have received their gratuities in the last 1 year. Not previously, at least in the last 1 year, I can guarantee that. So every year, every month, the Edo State government budgets 100 million for payment of gratuities. And they've done the same thing again this year. For this year, we budgeted 15.1 billion to pay pensions and gratuities in the 2023 budget. But they don't want to give us time to implement that because they're rioting even before work starts. And then the motive is clear to all Edo people. They spoke to B Television, and they were very, not just B Television, and TMTV, and they were very vehement in making assertions that were false. The fact that they are senior citizens does not give them the permission or give them the right to try to intimidate government or blackmail government. This government is here for all Edo people. We have done the right thing to make sure that as many of Edo people benefit from the resources that are available to Edo State. And the gratuities are being paid. Like I repeat again, 1 billion naira is budgeted for this year's gratuity, same as last year, and a few of them received that gratuity. And so those of you that interviewed them and they told you point blank that nobody has gotten gratuity since 2012, I think you should go back to them to ask them to clarify that government has put a lie to their story, and that very soon the names of those that received the gratuities will be forced to be released. But the Edo State government is not one that does things in those lights. We do not. We do not go to the marketplace to blow our trumpet or doing what we are supposed to do. But I think it is distasteful if senior citizens deliberately lie for political reasons or gains. So I know people should be wary when old men go to the streets of Benin to start telling a lie for political reasons. We will not tolerate it. And we don't want to call our parents liars, but we have some people that right now are not telling the truth when it comes to the issue of gratuities. We are paying gratuities, and there's an arrears which we inherited. At least they confirmed that it is from 2012 and not the ones under this government. I think they should point finger at the man who has sent them to go to the streets. That doesn't show them, because some of those faces, we know they are members of the APC under the command and control of Adam Shomole and a former minister, former commissioner in this state, former commissioner for, I think, environment. Yes, I think Mr. Clem Agbawi is now a minister of state for budget and planning. He's supervising over a ministry that has ruined Nigeria's currency, that has given us the highest unemployment rate ever, given us the highest inflation ever, and given us the largest debt profile the country has ever witnessed. This is the same minister that, as a commissioner for environment, he failed woefully his attempt to create the stormwater project. Failed woefully because that thing was riddled with fraud. And if you compare what they did then with what we are doing now with the water receptacles across the city, you will discover that the 25 to 50 billion they borrowed was just siphoned for their own personal gains. And I also found it very curious when he gave an interview to P Television that we are commissioning projects already commissioned, and they had the audacity to talk about the streetlights. The streetlights which they did and powered with their generators, and they also did using fake substandard cables. Edo State was very lucky that those cables did not catch fire or kill any of our citizens, because we had to remove all the cables they laid across for the streetlights to put new ones that are standard, that will be able to withstand the electricity which is being powered today. So when a minister of state is rewarded, after failing as a commissioner here, is rewarded to go to the national and then failing there again, because today the economy of Nigeria is worse off than it was before he became a minister. So I think we should call these people, we'll always call them out, so that whenever they speak, we should question them. That I'm particularly concerned about him mentioning the issue of streetlights and cables. Those cables, he is aware that they were fake. is aware that they nearly caught fire and killed those state citizens. But thank God, we were able to nip it in the bud by removing the cables. We are building a 200-kilometer Operation Light Up Edo, and there's no way we could have used the cables which they used. We are still using the same contractors they did, but without the shenanigans which they introduced into the contracting system. They cut corners, they use cheap materials, they request for 10 mm, they use 2 mm, request for 50 mm, they use 5 mm, and putting Edo people's life at risk. We had to cut all this off and put proper cables in place. That is why today Edo people are enjoying the streetlights. The fact that we do not want to probe or have not probed their government doesn't mean we don't have enough to probe them on. But they should no longer come here to speak ill of what the government is doing. And that brings me to the issue of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with his loop of bondage, which he has used to capture Nigeria from APC people. You know that thing on his head is a loop of bondage, in case you are not aware. That's what it is. Came to Edo State, and all it could say to Edo people is that our youths are Yahoo boys. He did not acknowledge that our youths are one of the most intelligent, the most beautiful, the well-trained people of Nigeria. He did not acknowledge any of those, but instead he talked about Yahoo. I think we have to call him out for the few things he was able to say. He mumbled the rest. I can't remember anything else. They said, all I can remember now is he mumbles the words Yahoo, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. So we have to call these people out, because presidency is a serious affair. We want strong, healthy, and people that their senses are still in place to rule Nigeria. At the same time, we do not want lieutenants around him that have failed, firstly as commissioners and now as ministers, or even some others that as governors they failed, and as national chairmen of parties they also failed. We want people that can unite this country and also push forward our agenda of a peaceful and prosperous Nigeria. Thank you very much. I'll take any questions, please. Sir.
In my own case, just in the word of caution, is calling out names of those who are connected to the in recent times, we are just talking of the kidnap, and by calling out names of those who are connected, it's like providing them the easy targets of kidnappers.
No, I did not say I'll call out the name. I said, but if the pension people keep on saying we have not paid gratuities, we will be forced to release the names of those pensioners that have collected their gratuities and from the years they said it. So it's easy. If something is red, it is red. You cannot come out to say Edo State government has not paid any pensions gratuity since 2012. That is a blatant lie. And when senior citizens are the ones making this lie, I don't know. I'm too embarrassed to call such people liars. But the truth of the matter is, we have to say it for what it is. Well, yes, I'm too embarrassed to do so. Any questions, please? Yes. Sir, I'll leave.
Sir, two questions. One, you just mentioned the show street lights, and the former administration used the fake or substandard cables.
Yes, sir.
Was that why the water fountain ring was almost shut down? And secondly, my colleague just mentioned about kidnappers. Was about 82 people kidnappers there.
31.
Okay. Just the water fountain, is that why it was always shut down?
First of all, I'll start with the water fountain was not shut down in 2016. This water fountain was shut down before the National government. But the National is the only one that knows the kind of materials he used to construct that did not last 2 years. He's the only one that knows, and I think it's something I do need to ask him, Mr. Former Governor. The water fountain you set up with millions and millions of Edo State people is not working even before you left government. Why did you not fix it? And why is it not working? Not this government. If this government has to fix it or has to talk about it, many heads will roll, especially the head of the people who set it up. The water fountain today is done in opaque. Nobody knows how it came up, what was spent there, how much was spent, what was the requirement. It's just there because Adams had the fancy to put the water fountain there that only him and probably his commissioner for environment at the time know what was there. I don't think any other Edo person knows the specification of that fountain. It's working in Bayelsa. The one they have in Bayelsa, which is supposed to be what they copied, is working in Bayelsa today. But the one in Edo State, that somebody deliberately use false materials, fake materials, substandard materials to set it up so that it fails. So unfortunately for him, it failed even before he left government, and he could not fix it. So we are still questioning him to please come out and tell us if he removed any of the parts to power the fountain in his house in Iyamo, because I suspect that is what he has done.
Honourable Commissioner,
Sir,
don't you think it's better heads rule and water fountain is working?
I don't think it's better his role, no. I think you should ask the man who built it, who we suspect removed the parts to go and power the fountain in Iyamo. You should ask him what he has done with the parts they use for the water fountain here in Edo.
Sir, please, quick one. On the Igwebe, just some moments ago, there were reports about that some families have been contacted and some of the persons have been released. I mean, some of the abducted persons. Has there been any formal communication with the police to contact?
What I can confirm to you is that 32 people were kidnapped, one escaped. So that means that 31 people in kidnappers there. As we speak, one of the suspects have been apprehended by the police and is every police with investigation. That's all the information I have on that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.